I got everything I thought I wanted, and it almost cost me the life I actually wanted. I think one of the hardest things a man can admit is that the life he spent years building doesn't fit the man he's becoming anymore. Does this life still fit the man I've become? That's the question that ended up changing everything for me. A lot of us were taught the same thing. We should work harder, provide more. We sacrifice now, we'll enjoy it later. We keep saying yes. Yes to the overtime, yes to the opportunities, yes to the responsibilities, because that's what good men do. We tell ourselves it's all temporary. We tell ourselves we're doing it for our families. One day we finally get the life we work so hard for. The career, the business, the income, the reputation, the dream. Somewhere along the way, we stop asking, does it still fit? And that's exactly what happened to me. For years, all I wanted to be was a fishing guide. It wasn't just a job, it was my dream. I grew up with the dream. It's all I've ever wanted to do. When I finally made it, I honestly thought I'd do it forever. People would tell me, man, you're living the dream. They weren't wrong, they were right. I was. And that is what made walking away from it, at least for now, so very difficult. I didn't leave because fishing was a bad dream. I left because it belonged to the man I used to be. At first, nothing seemed wrong. Business was good, people were happy. I was doing what I always wanted to do. Little things started happening that I couldn't ignore anymore. These little things that started happening I couldn't ignore anymore were things like I'd get pictures of basketball games for my kids instead of sitting in the stands. My wife hit a deer one day. I was hours and hours away. Couldn't do anything to help her. She was left stranded on the side of the road waiting hours for a tow truck. Every time I'd come home, my kids would look taller. They'd sound different. They had inside jokes that I had no clue what they were talking about. Stories I'd never heard. Then I started to feel like I wasn't watching them grow up anymore. I was trying to catch up. At first I told myself, it's only a few months at a time. The money's worth it. This is what I built. This is how I provide. This is what it all looks like. For a long time, that's what I told myself. That's what I believed. One day I realized something I couldn't shake. I was helping other people make memories. People I might see every year, maybe once every couple years. We knew each other. We were friends. I liked them. They liked me. We looked forward to fishing together. Something happened to me and I couldn't take them next year. They'd just find somebody else. It wasn't like they were going to have any remorse that I wasn't there. I realized that I was giving it all to them, none of it to my family at home. I thought that providing more, working more, making more money was what my family needed from me. It turns out all they needed was more of me. Because if I'm being honest, I wasn't just missing moments. I was slowly becoming someone I never intended to become. I spent years building a life I was proud of while slowly becoming a man I wasn't proud of in the mirror. Not because I was a bad husband, a bad father, any of that. Because I was slowly abandoning myself. Just one compromise at a time, one missed workout, one missed family event, one postponed adventure. As a family, we've had well over a decade of summers. We've never taken a summer vacation together because Dad's always working. When you work the type of job I've done, you don't get to take time off. You have to work when you can work. Sadly, the time off's usually in the middle of winter when the weather sucks and nobody wants to do anything. It's not just that. I've got a welder sitting in my shop I bought 5 years ago. I was going to teach myself how to TIG weld. It's a hobby I've always wanted to do. That welder's never been plugged in. It's pretty dusty. I don't know the first thing about TIG welding still. And it's not really about the welder. It's just about that version of someday. I kept believing I'd eventually get to it someday. One more promise that someday things will slow down. I'll have time to do it. I started asking myself a question I've avoided for years. If nothing changes, what does my life look like in 15 years? That could be a pretty scary thing for somebody. I'd invite you to ask yourself that if you're in a similar situation. For me, it was my health is second, third, fourth, fifth on the list. My wife, my marriage is quietly suffering. Always saying I'll make it up to you later. Later is not guaranteed. There is no guarantee that later is going to come. I've had several near-death experiences on the river and just in regular life, like most of us. I may have been a little closer to than some people ever have. Later is not guaranteed. Telling your wife you'll get to it later, we'll go take a trip later, we'll do these things later is just not the right thing to be doing. Here I am, taking at least a year off, resetting, rebuilding, trying to figure out what's next. That's led to something that I didn't actually expect. A few people that are super close to me knew that this was going to happen, know what was going on. Acquaintances and friends that I don't talk to as much might not, I just didn't talk to them about it ahead of time. So it led to a lot of questions. I get a lot of phone calls every day, people asking about booking fishing trips. Friends call wondering why I haven't seen me on the water. It's been interesting that just taking a little time off to kind of reset, rebuild, figure out where I'm at in life has brought a lot of negativity into my life. Funny enough, most of it's from close people, family, close friends. It's just the craziest thing. They all just assume that I screwed up something real bad and can't do it anymore, that I failed, couldn't run my business that I built bigger than most everybody I know, more days on the water than most guys I know. Their first thought is that you failed, that or something super bad has happened and you're no longer legal to do your job or something like that. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. When did it become illegal or a problem for a man to take some time off and figure out what he wants to do with his life or the next chapter in his life? What's wrong with wanting to be there for your kids when you've spent most of your life away from home working? What's wrong with wanting to reconnect with your wife? And as long as you're taking care of business and your bills are paid and everybody's doing, I don't understand where this negativity from people comes from. It's just a deep down unhappiness in their own lives. Obviously, there's no other good explanation for it. I've had all those questions. Actually, not questions. They're actually accusations. It's people think that they know what's up. The actual truth is less than a handful of people have actually asked me what's really going on. Those people, I've told them. Not one of them said that's a dumb thing to do. That's the wrong decision. They're actually all very supportive. The river's not going anywhere. It's not like it won't be there next year or the year after. It's not like I won't know all my customers. Well, it's not like I don't know what to do. It's been really crazy, you guys. I get it. For years, I've been known as Matt the Fishing Guide. That's just how you know me. That's what people know. They think that it's this super exciting life I've lived, and it is. It's probably more fun than your job. It doesn't mean it's the end or the be all. There's a lot of nuances that come with it. There's a lot of issues that come with it. It doesn't mean that it's just what I have to do for the rest of my life. Just like you don't have to do what you're doing for the rest of your life. There's millions of ways to make money in this world. Maybe something's better than what we're doing right now. I get it. I'm Matt the Fishing Guide. They expect me to be gone. They expect me to be in another place this time of year. They expect me to be posting pictures. They expect me to be smiling every day. Life is perfect. I guess when that changes, it really throws some people for a loop. I guess that's also because my identity is completely wrapped up in my job. I will say that after I decided to take this time off and regroup, initially I felt some relief. I don't think the relief wasn't because I wasn't going to work or anything. The relief was that I made the decision. That decision's made. Now we can move on to the next part of it. And that was a relief. I felt excited. Didn't really feel scared right away. That took a while. I woke up one night having a terrible dream, sweating, panting a little, thinking, oh my God, what am I supposed to do now? I have completely quit what I was doing, how I make money. What am I supposed to do now? I'm still answering that question. I don't really know yet. I have other ways that I make income that I've done while guiding. And so I have those things to fall back on. That's okay for now. I'm far from having everything figured out. There's days that I wake up and I just want to go get in my boat and go back to what I was doing. Luckily, I can look around at my family and my kids and think, let that go for now, because that's not the right decision. The right decision is to be here right now doing what I'm doing. I don't have everything figured out. I'm just far enough down the road to know that this rebuilding doesn't happen all at once. It's just one decision at a time. There's some positives I can say. Today I know my son better than I did a few years ago. Today I know my daughter better than I ever have. It's not because they changed. It's because I've finally slowed down. I'm here. I'm present. I'm not thinking about tomorrow. I'm not thinking about next week, next year. I'm not thinking about how to grow my business bigger. I'm thinking about how I can be a good dad and be here right now for my family. You know, where I used to think, I'm coming home, been gone for 3 months. I pull in the driveway, we're right back to where we were. I thought that, but that's not the way it is. I would come home, everybody's super excited to see me, of course. Hugs, kisses, tears, all that good stuff. And it was awesome. It's an awesome feeling. You guys that are on the road, that are travel a lot, you know that feeling when you come home to your family. And after being gone for a long time, the love you get from them is irreplaceable. It almost makes being gone for a while worth it. I guess I thought that I came home and unload my stuff and we just go on like I never left. That's not, that was just crazy. All those things that happened when I was gone, all the little inside jokes that they had developed while I was gone, the funny things that happened. Of course, they tried to tell me most of it on the phone. You can't tell everything all the time. I just, like I said, I used to think I'd pull in and unload. We were right back to it, but I was wrong. I was creating a little bit of a distance in everybody that I didn't even know about. Again, of course, they were happy to see me and loved me and glad I was home. We had a little rift between us that we didn't even know about. And the other things, when you're gone and on the road, just working, you don't take your health seriously. I've been able to start doing that again, actually for the first time in 25 years probably or more. Not because I'm trying to look like I'm 25. I'm just trying to look like I can live the next 25 years, be strong enough, look good enough, be healthy enough, have blood pressure that'll let me live that long. In the destination to all this, the rebuilding my body isn't the destination. It's just part of it. It's just part of it. There's so many things to kind of rebuild. Maybe I said this earlier. It's been over a decade since my family had a summer vacation. My daughter's 9, so she's never really even had one. My son, the ones that we have, all revolved around fishing. I think that those are the biggest lessons that I've learned is this rebuilding isn't one giant leap. It's just tons of small decisions. A decision to stay home, a decision to work out, a decision to eat better. It's one conversation with my wife. It's one dinner around the dinner table with my family, one new adventure. I will say fishing taught me something. Sometimes the hardest dream to leave is actually the one that came true. Not because it's the wrong dream. It just might have been the dream that stopped belonging to the man you're becoming. Maybe your crossroads is in a fishing business. Maybe it's just your job. Maybe it's your marriage. Maybe you've just, a lot of us have stopped taking care of yourself and quietly abandoning yourself. And if that's you, I want you to know something. You're not alone. There are a lot of us out there. Read the comments on my videos or my shorts. We're not alone. There's lots of us out there. We don't fall apart overnight. We've just drifted. The good news is we can rebuild it the exact same way, one decision at a time. Maybe you're not falling apart. Maybe you're just becoming the man your next chapter requires. I think that I'd invite you to think about that deeply, that as life changes, there's seasons in life, and what's your season where you're at might require you to change and do something different, completely different. I'm not saying blow it all up overnight. I'm just saying the first step is to stop and think about it and really think about it. It took me years to think this through. Several years I've been thinking about doing this. We finally got into a place where I could do it. Here I am. I'm not saying, again, blow up your life. I'm just saying think about where you're at. Think about your family and where you want to be. Maybe you're not falling apart. Maybe you're doing really well. Then maybe this isn't for you. The guys that it is for, I think, will completely understand. Guide to Fit is not a fitness channel. It's not a motivation channel. It's for men that spent years building careers while slowly forgetting about themselves. Fitness matters. Motivation matters. Discipline matters. Fatherhood, marriage, careers, it all matters, you guys. So does taking care of yourself and making sure that you're happy in all of this beautiful world that we have. I'm just going to wrap it up like this. The channel's for men who are done slowly abandoning themselves and are ready to slowly, intentionally build a life they're excited to wake up to again. I'm not here because I have it all figured out. I'm here because I'm rebuilding it too. I'm hoping my story helps at least one person. If it does, it'll all be worth it. Please, if you felt anything from this and you got something out of it and you're in a similar situation, please drop me a comment and let me know. Let's start rebuilding it together.